late. I said I was gonna sit down in the massage chair for a few minutes because it's been so like it's not that hot anymore here. We had a thunderstorm, so I didn't get to go swimming because great thunderstorms came down, and but I did get to walk, and I saw the two bald eagles that we have at least two on our lake that live on our lake. It was very funny because usually I see them on the lake, right? Okay. But I was walking, and Jimmy went to pick Luke up from somewhere. So they were on their way home, and they said, like, down in town at the bottom of our mountain, because I'm Heidi, I live on the top of the mountain, and they saw the two eagles down there where it says, like, welcome to our town, and followed them the whole way up the mountain. And just as they were on this big clearing, you know, I was coming out of one of the entrances of our lake, saw, you know, my family there stopped on the side of the road, taking a video. But before I saw them taking a video, I saw the eagles, and I snapped one right over me. I'll show you. But two flew right over. And how did we even get on this? No, we got on this because I was telling you what I did. So then I was just, after that walk, I was just so, it was cooler, but so humid. Here's the eagle, one of them. And they went right to the lake, and then, but they both flew over me. By the time I got I only get one, but Luke got a video. Oopsie, hold on, you didn't go over there, please. Come on. Where are you going? There we go. You know, I zoomed in on him there, but that's the eagle. Flew over me during my walk. And look, so they had flown all the way. So you can see it on my Instagram, and crazy, right? So yeah, and then I was like, oh, sweaty. I came home. I just didn't even feel like eating dinner. I had a bagel for dinner. So like this, I don't know. It's not that it's hot now. It's not like hot now. It's okay, but I don't know. It just kind of like I just feel like drained. You know what I mean? And maybe from because I've had like a massive, crazy week. Been running every freaking day this week. It's just been really, I don't know, I guess draining. And then I had like a medical thing. It was just draining. So anyway, okay, so let's go and talk about, so why am I late? So then I said like I don't know, it was like 7 or 8 after midnight, and I said I just have to sit in the chair for a minute, and I sat down and I started to listen to some of a woman who lost her daughter in that horrible shooting in Arkansas, her 23-year-old daughter, a nurse, and then she said the shooter, was Joey Posey, and she said, why would you have to go and decide, what made you decide to go and ruin, I'm paraphrasing, that you had to ruin lives today. But when she said that last name, Posey, I'm like, wait a second. I read that name somewhere recently. It started to drive me nuts, because things like that drive me nuts. And I'm like, we were reading something or what it was, but that name was there, Posey. So I don't know. But anyway, it was a sad story. And then the 3 people that were killed, the other person that was killed was her niece's father. So, two people in her family, and her daughter has a 10-month-old little girl. Well, now the mother says she's going to raise, I mean, she was still in shock, obviously. But, yeah. So I ended up being late, and sorry about that. That was a long, convoluted story. Why I was late, right? Okay. So how many? 3 and more wounded. Heavy air. Yeah, a lot of humidity. I don't know. It's really, I don't know. I still got out and did my stuff, heavy air. But I just feel drained. I would have liked to have gone swimming, but of course, storms maybe tomorrow. But it has cooled down drastically, and I really would have liked to go when it's really hot. But I'll get there. I'll get there. All right, let's talk about this, and then we're going to talk about Sherri Papini's husband as well. Okay, so let's see here. What are we doing? We are trying now what happened over here? Okay. Let's see. Said. Oh. Uh-oh. What did I press? What did I press? Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm really going crazy a little bit. Okay, sorry about that. Dismiss this. What is this thing over here? Dismiss. Dismissed. Oh gosh, I hope I'm not going to have that like crazy overtired stuff. Lord knows we don't need that. Okay, so here we go. So it was in Fortis, Arkansas, and the shooter opened fire at a grocery store. There were a lot of witnesses and people that said, they hid. Some people went into a cooler, like a walk-in cooler, freezer in the back. I don't know why they just didn't run out of the back of the store. I don't think I would want to lock myself in the freezer because you're a sitting duck. If they said they got something so he couldn't open the door, what if he just starts? I don't know. Some of them were just hiding. They said that they saw that he wore a trench coat or something. Some of the witnesses, and that he had the AR, and some people that thought it was fireworks, because right now, like around here, and you could see there's like one of those tents where they go out in the parking lots and they sell fireworks, and so someone thought that fireworks had gone off or something outside. And then I did a little bit of research on the shooter, and from what I was reading, they were saying that the people knew him and couldn't say enough good things about him. And I think he had it, I'm not sure now, but I think he had a tree service. I'm not sure about that yet. But he was 44 years old. He is 44 years old. So, let's see what happened. Police say that other victims have injuries that range range from minor to critical. Hopefully they'll all be okay. Police apprehended the shooter, who was critically injured during the confrontation. Let's see. And then Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders posted on Twitter saying, and I quote, "I have been briefed on the tragic shooting in Fordyce, and I'm in constant contact with the state police at the scene. I'm thankful to law enforcement and first responders for their quick and heroic action to save lives. My prayers are with the victims and all those impacted by this." It happened at a a Mad Butcher grocery store. Never heard that before. He came in and started shooting, said the meat cutter, Matt Gill, who was at the back of the store. "We made it out the back door. I had to get out there. I have a wife and kids at home." Yeah, see, they went that door. So when I heard that, I don't know. See, sometimes I forget what I told you guys and what I told the people on Zoom, but I was in Walmart the other day and this alarm went off. It was crazy. It wasn't just like the little alarm you hear if someone has a sensor or something. I either thought it was that a child was being abducted or a shooting, and there were only a couple of people that looked alarmed. The first thing I did, I was in the produce section, and see, I wouldn't go towards the main entrance. I immediately locked my eyes on like the doors behind the bakery or the deli counter that would go out, and you'll find your way out the back. That's immediately where, or like those stock areas that come out, where I was looking. So get out of Dodge. All right, so let me go back here. So there's 10 injured, 3 deceased. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is, well, they say the suspect is critically, unless he's been arrested before, and this is another picture of him. There's so let's see what we have here. The Wichita County Sheriff's Office, the Ouachita, and I know I'm butchering that name, okay? County Sheriff's Office identified the suspect as Travis Posey, 44, who was shot by law enforcement, is now in custody. Posey, a trucker. Okay, so a trucker. I thought something said something, but that it was in some kind of a thing. But was previously arrested in 2011 for possessing a handgun at the gates of the New York military base near the Canadian border. Look at that, 2011. 11 civilians were shot, 3 of them fatally, at the Mad Butcher in Fordyce. Mark Hager, the Secretary of Arkansas Department of Public Safety and the Director of the Arkansas State Police, said at the press conference. Police received 911 calls about the shooting around 11:38 a.m. 8 people had been injured, including 1 officer. Emergency services rushed to the Mad Butcher grocery store in Arkansas. Let's see. Posey's injuries are also non-life-threatening. A motive was unclear as of Friday. Some of the civilian victims are in critical condition. 2 law enforcement officers were also shot, and their injuries are not considered life-threatening. The suspect, identified as Travis Posey, let me see. Sometimes some of this stuff is being repeated. Shell casings littered the ground. So apparently Posey is from New Edinburgh, Arkansas. And that was the Fort Drum military base in Watertown that he was arrested in 2011. He was charged with 4th-degree criminal possession of a weapon, but pled down to disorderly conduct in the town of Luray court. Police confiscated the gun, and he paid a fine of $200. Arkansas State Police said late Friday that Posey was being charged with 3 counts of capital murder, with additional charges pending. Let's look at something else here. Hang on a moment. Okay, one moment. My computer's being, you fill in the blank. If you know, you know. Okay. There's a 22-year-old Texas woman who hasn't been seen since Wednesday in Waco. Might as well get that out there, right? I'm going to finish more on that shooting as well. I just, this just came across. The Waco Police Department says Kristen Delgado sent a TikTok at about 2 a.m. on Thursday, but has not otherwise communicated directly with anyone. Oh, good news on this one. I like when we have good news. She has been located and is safe. I really like it when we have good news. That's wonderful. She's located safe, so that's good. Let's go back to where we were now. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Okay. All right. Now where I'm gonna go? I'm gonna go to my go-to right here. Oops. Okay, so it looks like I said Callie Weems. That's whose mother I saw on the news. This is this senseless stuff, took away this woman, the mother of a 10-month-old, and a nurse. Then let's see. Another victim, Brittany Sullivan, is fighting for her life after being shot. Prayers that she makes it through. So this is another victim who could need prayers. Let me bring this down a little bit. She could use your prayers, definitely. So could Callie Williams' family and her soul. And the other victims. But, where was I? Yeah, this is, what did I say? Brittany Sullivan. Okay, let's see. Trying to see if they can say why he. Isn't this weird? Donald Sutherland died, right? The other day, and I said something, and then someone named that same name as the shooter posted about Donald Sutherland, but I don't think it was. The shooter, but it's just how like these things and these. But I have in my head, I read something with Posey, that name all over it. It's really freaking me out a little bit. Okay, so let's see. We can see. Let me see. What? So, who is he, right? Everybody wants to know, who is he? What was he doing? Okay, the grocery store was located at 920 West 4th Street in Fordyce. Fordyce has a population of 3,238. It's about an hour south of Little Rock in Dallas County. So wait, they do say, okay, I was right. It says he is the owner of Posey Tree Service in Kingsland. So I was right on that one. Okay. Let me see something. So I found a LinkedIn for him. Travis Joey Posey, Tree Service. It says owner and operator of Posey Tree Service, December 2012 to the present. Before that, it says forestry consultant, other research technician, and a sales clerk. He's okay. It says he has a Bachelor of Science in Forestry from the University of Arkansas, Monticello. Wow, they have a Monticello there too. Isn't it funny how they... Activities and societies. He was in the Honor Society. Yep. Sigma Pi. Let's see. Grade point average 3.45 to a 4.0. Then it says University of Arkansas, Master of Science in the Forest Resources, and grade point average 3.64 to 4.0. Interesting. It says major emphasis in statistics, measurements, geographical information systems, wood products and industrial processing, public presentations, technical writing, research projects, etc. What in the world, right? It said that he took test scores. It says military ASVAB score 98 out of 99 overall, January 2010. The Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery. And then the Arkansas Career Readiness Certificate score gold level, January 2010. High GPA, Honor Society. His skills say mechanics, electronics, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, CDL Class A, arc welding, metal fabrication, soldering, presentations, writing, quantitative analytics, computer hardware, automotive repair, small engine repair, diesel repair, heavy equipment operations, and rigging. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, then on he has some, what does he have here? Those aren't about his tree surface. No. Okay, Posey Tree Removal Service, New Edinburgh, Arkansas. Posey's Tree Service. Don't know if this one is his. What is this? If this is, it's kind of really very. Let me see if this is his. Because this, oh wow, if this is his. He's got a lot of stuff about firearms, ammunition, and even like a diagram of the human body and how many shots into this heart of someone. So it's quite disturbing, but then it's peppered with the tree stuff. But I'm trying to see if this is, because if this is him, and he was there, then he was big on social media. But let me see, I don't know if this is his, but it's kind of strange that, let me see. I just wish. Let me just check the number. This is going to one in Tennessee, so strange, though that's a little alarming because some of the content on there, especially the one with the diagram, but I'm trying to look at this. This kind of looks like that guy. Looks like he's in a tree holding a cat or something in one of those things, but let me see something. I think this is the same guy. I don't know why it's saying Tennessee. I guess I would be able to tell because he's got some pretty distinctive tattoos, but this looks like the same guy to me. And this is from June 19th. Let me see here. Or the last posts on here. There's like best sniper. 1 shot, 5 wounds. Okay? That's kind of crazy. That's But it's also kind of strange because 2 days ago, this guy captured a cat in a tree, but it really, I don't know, it looks kind of like them, but I'm not, oh my. He could be a relative, I don't know. But I'm not going to. Let's see what else do they have around this. Okay, let me see something here. Let's see this one. Let's see, update. Alright, so it says, later, please, later. Oh my gosh. Why do you put this spam crap over here? All right, so here's, let me see what this is about. See, they keep saying Arkansas truck driver. I don't know why. And not the tree service. Well, they say the tree service and other things. He engaged with responding officers with gunfire. He was not seriously injured at the time of the shooting. He was later taken into custody, according to the Arkansas Advocate. One of the fatal victims was revealed to be a 23-year-old nurse who had gone to run shopping errands. Her name was revealed as Callie Weems, who worked as a nurse at the Dallas County Medical Center and was the mother of a 10-month-old toddler. Images from TV reporters showed bullet holes in the grocery store windows. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so the LinkedIn shows that he's the owner of Posey Tree Service in Kingsland in Cleveland County. No immediate motive for the mass shooting was known. Let's see here. See, and then it keeps bringing me back to that Tennessee. I don't know. Very sad, but I'm sure there'll be more information forthcoming. Let's talk about Sherri Papini. You remember Sherri Papini, that she was in that kidnapping hoax, okay? Well, her husband is speaking out. Now, the other day I showed you she's with a new love interest and all of that stuff. If you were around, we looked at that. This is in better times with her ex-husband, who's speaking out now. And he's telling what marriage was like with Sherri Papini. Every day, something revolving around what we dubbed the 22 days would come up, Keith said. For years, Keith believed that his wife was abducted and held hostage for 22 days until she finally admitted in a courtroom that the whole story was fabricated. On November 2nd, 2016, Sherri disappeared while she was on a jog near her Redding, California home. But miraculously, after more than 3 weeks away from her young children and family, after a nationwide search, Sherri, who was 34 at the time, she shows up on a highway near Sacramento, more than 150 miles from where she disappeared. She looked undernourished. She looked beaten. When Keith received the news that she was found alive, and I believe she was like handcuffed to a guardrail, right? He went to the Woodland, California hospital to see her. He went into Sherri's room, pulled back the curtain to see her, and he said, and I quote, "As soon as I saw her face, the way she looked up at me in that moment, I just felt this is fake. This is not real." Now there's going to be on Hulu, and we will watch this. Okay, because, there's always something, right? He's on his press tour, I guess. There's going to be, Keith speaks about this ordeal in Perfect Wife. The Mysterious Disappearance of Sherri Papini, a new 3-part documentary series now streaming on Hulu. Oh, good. Maybe we'll go and watch that after this. But as quickly as that feeling surfaced, he said it faded. When he hugged her in the hospital bed, he felt scabs on her back, and he saw bruises all over her body. There's no way somebody could do this to themselves, he thought. Then I felt guilty that I even thought that she could do this. Despite that gut feeling, Keith stood by Sherri for years, believed that she had been taken against her will. He spoke with law enforcement, encouraged his wife to tell them everything that she remembered about it when she was ordered to aid in the investigation. I was constantly trying to solve the case. I always was reaching out to the FBI. Every time she would tell me something, I was writing it down or trying to find a picture of it, and I would give that to the FBI. Despite his best efforts, the case went cold, with no leads on whoever took Sherri, abducted her, right? And while Keith was trying to support his wife's recovery from this trauma she claimed she endured, Sherri was inflicting constant trauma on Keith and their 2 small children, he says. And I quote him saying, "Every day, something revolving around what we dubbed the 22 days would come up. Whether that be loud sounds at night, where I have to go outside to make sure someone's not coming in to kill us. I mean, she led us to believe that we were going to be attacked at some point, saying that he had to upgrade their security system due to Sherri's purported fears. Now, during an investigation, investigators started poking holes in Sherri's claims. Then they eventually learned that Sherri lied about the entire kidnapping. Investigators discovered that during the 22 days she was missing, she was willingly at the Costa Mesa, California home of her ex-boyfriend. Sherri was arrested in March of 2022 in connection with that hoax. On April 18th of 2022, nearly 6 years after her disappearance, Sherri pled guilty to 1 felony charge each of making false statements to federal agents and mail fraud. And she was sentenced to 18 months in prison, and she was released in early 2023. Days after her guilty plea, Keith filed for divorce and eventually cut contact with Sherri, who he said continued to try and manipulate him after the divorce. I quote, he said, "It was such a weight off my shoulders because I was constantly trying to play this game with her, but you're not going to win against her. She's too good. And ever since cutting off contact with Sherri, it's been a lot easier," he said, "because I just get to focus on the kids." He has sole custody of their 2 children, and Sherri sees them once a month during supervised visits. Okay, so we're going to have to catch up with that 3-part documentary series, right? And then there's the new Nicole Brown Simpson, right? There's that too. So again, Keith said, at the end of the day, you feel like if you can trust anyone, it's your partner in life. Yeah, but he said, I'll never know the truth. Let's see here. My computer's being a little jerk again. Let's see, here we go. She told me that, I'm quoting him again, she told me she hadn't done anything, and I believed her. He characterizes Sherri as a skillful manipulator who used her tough childhood as an excuse for her frequent lying and exaggeration. At the end of the day, you feel like if you can trust anyone, it's your partner in life, but I was wrong. Keith said he and Sherri exchanged their first kiss when he was in the 7th grade and she was in the 8th at a middle school in Redding, California. They fell out of contact when Sherri's family moved out of town, but they reunited in 2006 when she moved back, and they married 3 years later. They were busy raising 2 kids in Redding. So they married 3 years later. That would be 2009. They were busy raising 2 kids in Redding. Let's see. Keith is an audiovisual specialist. He returned from work one day to find that Sherri, who was laid off from her job at a telephone company, was not at the house and hadn't picked up the children from daycare. Using a GPS tracking app, Keith located Sherri's phone on the ground a mile from their home. I remember I went down to grab it, and then I stopped myself to take a photo because I just knew it was too bizarre. That's weird. And then I saw her hair wrapped in the headphones. Okay. The couple's wedding song, Michael Bublé's Everything, was playing on the repeat. I knew with absolute certainty that she was taken against her will. That's weird. Keith called 911, and the massive nationwide search for Sherri began. Close friends and neighbors were supportive, but as one week turned into another, whispers about Sherri leaving him to escape her marriage began to spread. Keith brushed him off. Sherri wrote me songs. She wrote me cards. I felt loved. Where's that? And even if that wasn't true, I didn't see how it's possible she would ever leave the kids. So hang on, my computer's being a little dark again. So wait a second. I don't know, I always kind of felt like, I don't know, a little bit on the fence that just some things like why, like was he involved, like I don't know, was he involved in this? I don't know, just seems a little suspect. I don't know. I'd like to watch the interviews and stuff. I definitely will want to watch the documentary series, I'd say. Sherri also embellished her past, claiming that she had attended college in Southern California, studied ballet, and sold cars. Keith pointed out problems with her timeline. If something wasn't adding up, she was quick to move it to, well, it's because of my childhood. You didn't experience that because you had loving parents. Now I see how she was twisting it. But back then I would say, oh, I'm sorry. Let me give you a hug. Sounds like a few people, YouTube. Police and FBI investigation of Sherri's abduction continued for several years. Keith remained in contact with authorities. All right, Sherri persuaded him to let her return. He says, okay. All right, he accompanied her with FBI agents who claimed during questioning in 2020 that DNA from her clothing had been identified as belonging to an ex-boyfriend, proving that she was with him when she faked her kidnapping. Devastated, Keith kicked her out of the house. But after only 1 day of staying with a relative, Sherri persuaded him to let her return. From that day on, tension ebbed and flowed. She'd say, I love you, I didn't do anything, I told you they're messing with us, they're trying to pit us against each other. Every day, Sherri brought up the 22 days of trauma and criticized Keith for being insensitive. Once she looked at me and said, I have to live with the fact that you never found me. It crushed me. When Sherri was finally arrested by FBI agents while she was with her children in March of 2022, who witnessed their mother being led away in handcuffs, Keith has custody of the kids. Sherri sees them once a month, supervised, and recently told them about their mother's crimes, although not in detail. He said a lot of their childhood was, in my opinion, stolen from them. So my biggest goal is to give them a happy and healthy life, surrounding them with loving people. As for regrets for placing his trust in their mother, Keith says his recent bitter experiences have not profoundly changed him. I ask more questions and I'm probably more cautious, but I'm still finding people to be truthful. That's how I've lived my life and what I teach my kids. Keith tells his story in The Perfect Wife, The Mysterious Disappearance of Sherri Papini, a new 3-part documentary series streaming on Hulu starting on June 20th. Okay. All right, so let me go back to the live chat if I can even find it. That's not it. Where are you? One, two, three little bits. We had a thunderstorm, so I didn't get to go swimming because great thunderstorm. Okay, hi Painted Black, how you doing? How are you doing? Okay, what about, okay, let's see what's going on in this chat. Let me go into live chat first of all. Take a little look at what's going on in here. Painted Black, El Cassie, Margot. Okay, Kevin Leonard. So let's see. Hi Astro from space, how are you? Sherri did all that to have sex with her ex-boyfriend. He was gullible, I see. Hey family. Hey Astro. Hi Peanut Black. Wow, I know the husband was sad. He took her back after he left DNA on her. Nightbot's Painted Black's main squeeze. When you are perceived as a blooming idiot, she says. After finding the DNA, she can't come back. Nope, I'm good. You're good, right there, Astro? That's it. Yeah, it sounds like, yeah, maybe he just believed her. Still a bit high. Got home from the hospital at 7:30ish. Oh, okay. Alrighty then. How'd everything go? Hopefully okay. Alright, so I don't know. I think to watch that documentary series might be good. I just feel like, I don't know, it's drained. Like, I don't know. I think it's just a culmination of me just being on the go all week with like under the, I feel like I was been running a relay race or something. That kind of anxiety. Okay. So let's see if there's anything else to discuss here before we go to word cookies and before we end. Okay, what is this about now? Okay. See what's going on, if there's anything else that we need to talk about. James Morrison. Who is James Morrison? Okay, the woman, remember I told you the story about the woman who, she went with her husband in Mexico and he died. They were electrocuted and she was fighting for her life, but I guess she's okay now. I really thought she was in, I mean, the way they described it, I wasn't even sure if she was going to make it. But here she is, and she's speaking out now about this. Let me get her picture up here so we... This was at a Mexican beach resort, and she said it was supposed to be paradise. There were a couple from Texas, Lizette Zambrano and her husband, George, but little did she know it would become hell, which ended in her coming home full of grief and without the love of her life. She gave an interview to ABC News, speaking out for the first time about a tragedy that happened at the Mexican resort town of Puerto Penasco when they were both electrocuted, which killed George and seriously injured Lizette. And she said, and I quote, "I feel that this could have been prevented. I still can't believe it. A very good man was taken away." Lizette is now suing the resort for wrongful death due to what she alleges was faulty wiring sending a live current into the water. "I want somebody to take accountability for what happened to my husband and myself." And she said this on Good Morning America Friday morning. "The last thing I remember him saying is, 'Oh, shh.' And it's the same time that I felt the first electric shock. And then it happened over and over and over, and I didn't hear him again." The lawsuit alleges that bystanders attempted to rescue the couple, but they were hampered, stating that metal from the objects carried the electrical current and began shocking the rescuers. A lot of people jumped in, but they kept jumping up because the shocks were so strong. Lizette said she was pulled out of the hot tub with no pulse, but was given CPR and medically evacuated to a hospital where she eventually regained consciousness. Her lawsuit is seeking $1 million in damages from Casago, the facilitator of the vacation rental, claiming George was being electrocuted and drowned under the water for 10 minutes, and at no time prior to this did the defendant seek to engage the emergency shutoff for the jacuzzi. Meanwhile, Casago has denied all responsibility, saying in a statement that the Sonoran Sea is a condo resort and the homeowners association is responsible for all common areas, including the maintenance of the swimming pool, hot tub, and grounds. Casago, a vacation rental company, is not involved in any management or maintenance of the resort. What policies and procedures do they have in place, and what's the point of these policies and procedures if they're not going to do anything to enact them? Her lawyer questioned. While electric shock is rare, experts say if you think you're being shocked while in the water, move away from the source and try to get out of the water immediately, but without touching metal railings or ladders, which may increase the shock. Wow. Oh my gosh. Where did this happen? This is what I mean. And then there was a Florida couple today that was killed in the ocean in a riptide. They were on vacation with their children and both parents died. So I mean, like, you go on a vacation, you think everything's going to be great, it's a fun thing, or when kids get hurt, a fun time, it's either an amusement park or, even if they're like stitches or something, it's like you have this great fun time and then this stuff happens. So sad that things happen and like that on things, when you think things are going to be great. Now this is another tragedy involving elephants now. A U.S. tourist was thrown out of a vehicle by an elephant and trampled to death in Zambia. Now, Zambia, I'm sorry. Didn't they just have something about, what was it, a bison taking somebody off a safari ride or something? Juliana, and where is, speaking of Juliana, the name Juliana, Julianne, why is her last name escaping me? Julianne, where are you? Julianne Gonzalez. Okay, Juliana Tourneau, 64, of New Mexico, was watching a herd of elephants near the Marambo Cultural Bridge in Livingston on Wednesday when one of the animals attacked the vehicle. Juliana died around 5:50 p.m. after being knocked from a parked vehicle which had stopped due to traffic caused by the elephants around the Maramba Cultural Bridge, Southern Province Police Commissioner said on Friday. It happened at a known elephant corridor. Known elephant corridor. Hold on a minute, I lost my mouse here. Where did my mouse go? Oh, here it is. Let's see. A few meters away, Livingstone resident Ruth Chisowa said the elephant fell into a soakaway while looking for food, causing her property damage. The government needs to find a lasting solution because these animals are destroying our property. And she asked for help to fix it. Local officials have said the elephant population is expected to increase in residential areas as they search for food amid the drought. No additional details about Juliana were immediately released. Zambian officials have advised tourists to be extremely cautious when observing wildlife. It was the second such tourist death in Zambia this year. In March, a bull elephant chased a safari truck full of tourists and charged it at a national park, flipping the vehicle over, killing 79-year-old Gail Matson of Minnesota. The terrifying encounter was captured on video with the woman saying, "Oh my goodness," and a man saying, "Uh-oh, coming fast." One other guest on the vehicle was seriously hurt and 4 others suffered minor injuries. Matson was pictured smiling and holding a flower while sitting in the vehicle just before the attack. Her friend said she was on her last big adventure and celebrating ahead of her 80th birthday in the summer. Wow, see what I mean? Her last big adventure. And then some people would say, you know, if that happened, like some people like that, somebody might say, oh my gosh, why, that could be dangerous going on safari. And they'll say, well, just know if something happens to me, I died doing something I loved or I wanted to do. Or so, you know, I don't know. It's just the whole thing. It's just sad. Yeah. Very sad. Very sad stuff. Now, I thought this was an old story that passerbys found a small child alone on the beach, because there was a story about that like a couple of months ago, but I guess this happened again in Lake George, which is, you know, it's not an ocean, it's a lake, obviously. I forget when we went to Lake George, because we went to Lake George too, but we went to a resort. We were asked to do coverage on it was the Great Escape, right? We went to the amusement park. I forget what month it was. It wasn't even warm enough to go swimming out in the lake, and then we stayed in the resort where they had a water park. So we spent, I think it was a couple of days there, and so the lake, and that lake is not like Lake Erie, like has the really, really, really very rough water, like an ocean. But let me see here. Yeah. So this is a different story, because there was a child that was found on the beach. I think it was in Florida, wandering around alone. This is in Lake George. And it must have been that I read it somewhere. Well, I guess when we were asked to go somewhere or something I saw. Jimmy used to always say, like, do you want to go to Lake George? And I'm like, look at it like the lake. It was so similar, but yeah, I think I had seen it because they have friends that go there. But anyway, Pennsylvania mother and father have been charged with endangering the welfare of a child. And it's weird because the Pennsylvania mother and father in Florida, they were from Pennsylvania, that were killed in the riptide. So you had two parents ripped away from their kids, and then two parents that walked away from their kids. A Pennsylvania mother and father have been charged with endangering the welfare of a child after authorities allege they left their infant alone on the beach while they went boating in upstate New York. On Tuesday, June 18, just before 6 p.m., troopers responded to Lake George on a report of an infant who was left unattended on the beach. Investigators were told that the passerby heard a child crying for an extended period of time, found them alone on the beach about 5 feet from the shoreline. Police identified the parents as Paul Thorley, 30, and Mary E. Thorley, 28, both of Mount Pocono. The parents left the child alone for around 15 minutes while they went boating in the lake. The suspects were arrested and taken to the Chestertown State Police, where they were charged with endangering the welfare of a child. Police say they were issued appearance tickets to return to the Lake George Town Court and subsequently released. It's unclear if they have entered pleas or retained attorneys to speak on their behalf. Now, you don't have enough information. This is an infant, right? Now, was the infant strapped into a stroller. Like, where was the infant? Was the infant in a stroller? Was the infant in a pack and play? Was the infant, how old was the infant? You know, you need some more information here. Where were they? Were they kayaking on the shoreline? Well, surely if they were, they would hear their child crying. Like, I don't know. I just need some more information there. Was someone else supposed to be watching? You know, I think there's going to be more that comes out on that story. I just think there will be. Anywho's. Let me see here. Wait, what's going on here? So do you know TikTokers Alex Madison and John Buffard? The pair previously shared with people that they were expecting their first child. They lost the baby, okay. That's very sad. Okay, alright, I guess we should probably go and do the word cookies. Julia Roberts. How many children? Oh, she had twins, and then, okay, they were 19. How old? Okay, now my computer's being a little jerk again. Alright, let me go over here. Okay, I'm coming back. Coming back. Alright, here we are. I painted black. Okay. Now, let's go on to word cookies. I'm sorry, today is so convoluted. Let's do this. let's do this, and then I think we're going to go into Patreons and members. If you want to watch a movie, you're welcome to come on in. Word biscuits, Kevin? Okay. Okay, let's Swift. Swift, yes. Okay. Should have got that from Taylor Swift last night. Right? Suit, yeah. Okay, and list, the A list. Make the A list. Okay. Let's see. What is this? Anybody knows? You guys, hi Emmy. You guys are slow, too slow. Just, how could the lag be that much? The White Angel, if you're listening, you are, then come on home. Your package is going out on Monday because, I don't know, I didn't realize tomorrow's Saturday. And the hub is not, I can't get to the hub on Saturday. So it's going on Monday, but thank you. Okay. Okay. You guys are killing me. Erratic. Oh, well, you guys are quite the disappointment today in the word cookies. Sorry. Chia? Chia pet. Hey, painted black. Chia pet. It's not there. Arch Margot? Okay. Hurt? Someone's gonna get hurt tonight? Alright. Itch. Okay. Well, how about rich? How about two C words? Two C words. Chit chat. Isn't that funny? Now what's this other one over here? Char? No, wait a minute. Yeah. Very good. We did it. We did it. Oh, there's something about, there's a feature to watch that Jones documentary in New Jersey. I believe it's on June 29th, and there's also a GoFundMe to sponsor some of Jones Joy's stuff, and I'll have to get those links in the community post. Please remind me to do it tomorrow. Thank you very much. Okay, I think I'm going to go and call it a night because I'm getting tired and I want to maybe see a little bit of that Papini thing. So we'll see you on the flip side. I've got to do some self-care. Okay? And I urge you to do the same. Alright, everybody? Everybody take care. And we'll see you later on. Love you guys. God bless. Prayers. And, oh wow. Something was wrong with my chat. A whole bunch of it just showed up just now. Okay. No wonder I thought you guys were slow. Sorry.